Good morning, students. This morning we have Rachel Cotton from the Delaware County Technical High School to present an overview of DCTS and their program offerings. DCTS is an outstanding program that so many students take advantage of every year. At this time, I'd like to welcome Rachel Cotton from the DCTS.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me today. My name is Rachel Cotton. I'm from the Delaware County Technical High School. I am the Community Resource Developer and Perkins Grant Coordinator. I absolutely love my job. I have a really cool job that I get to do social media, which I get to showcase all of the different programs that we have. We have 21 programs that I'm going to go through with you today at 2 different campuses. But I also get to do recruitment, so I get to come out and talk to different high schoolers and help you explore your possible career choices for when you graduate high school, or thinking of different careers you might want to do, or majors in colleges and different universities. So we're going to go through my slideshow today, and I have a lot of different things that I have to say. But if you do have any questions at all during this presentation, you are more than welcome to reach out via my email, or feel free to call my office phone, which is on the screen right here. So please ask questions. And if I can't answer your questions, always ask your counselors for questions. And if your counselors can't help you, we are going to find an answer that best fits your solution and your question to make sure that we're providing the most information that we can give you for each program to help you figure out your possible career choice. So I mentioned that we have 21 different programs, but there are not just 21 specific careers. Your possibilities are absolutely endless. We have students that'll go on from like our automotive program into maybe aviation. We've had students go into accounting. We've had so many different engineering opportunities with automotive. So like I said, with automotive, like there's so many different opportunities. That's the same for every program that we offer, that there are different opportunities throughout all of our programs. So whatever job that you're thinking of right now, there's a pathway for it at DCTS that you are able to continue and further your education and further your career and be successful. At DCTS, all of our programs partner with different employers and organizations to make sure that we're providing the highest quality of content and the most knowledge that we can give you on each occupation. So we're providing different things like the different equipment that we offer so that you're using industry standards. You're also getting industry certifications. Every single student earns their OSHA certification by the time they graduate, which is a basic safety certification. And additionally, we use all sorts of different curriculum tactics and different skill sets to make sure that you are continuing to be successful in that future career. But the average student, college student, changes their major about 3 to 5 times before they graduate. So the one thing that we do at DCTS is we help you find your future career. It's a great start to think about what you might want to do, or if there's different fields that you want to get into and things like that. It's good to start now because eventually you'll have a lot of student loans and deciding your major in college and different things like that. To the job that I'm at right now, I changed my career pathway 7 different times. I was going to go for occupational therapy and speech pathology, and then American Sign Language, and then I ended up in communication, which is what I got my degree in. My first job out of college was actually wedding and event planning, and now I'm back in a high school and loving it. So it's okay to be undecisive of what kind of career you want right now, but I want to help you figure out what kind of career you might be interested in at DCTS or after you graduate high school, or even get into college and start figuring out your career. So we have 2 different campuses, Aston and Falkirk. Depending on which program you get into will depend on which school that you end up at. So we break our 2 schools down into 5 different schools, and these are known as career clusters. So they group them together by similar interests. And we're going to go through the programs in each career cluster to get a good sense of what they're related to. So our first school is the School of Health and Biosciences with our 6 programs right here. But before I go into all of the programs, I do want to mention that every program has not only just a classroom component where you do your lectures and PowerPoints and presentations and things, but you also have a laboratory that matches exactly how the field will look like. So all of our classrooms have good technology and replicas of things that you'll see when you're actually out in the field. So exercise therapy and sports science is a great program if you're interested in sports medicine, kinesiology, occupational therapy, physical therapy, sports medicine, and so much more. Dental technology, you can do radiology. You can get your radiology certification, passing those exams and everything. We also practice for chairside dental assisting and everything, so you can go right into a dental office. And then we have emergency and protective services, where we have a full-size fire truck, a full-size ambulance, a shooting simulator, and so much more that our students are able to practice, not only just firefighting, but they're doing police work and EMT and special services. Medical Careers is a senior-only program. So during your junior year, you can apply for this during your senior year. Instead of coming to one of our campuses, you're actually going to one of 7 hospitals. Right now, because of COVID, our students are hosted at Aston and Fallcroft, but hopefully when COVID is over, and we're hoping to return in the fall back to the different hospitals, you actually get to do clinical rotations in maybe radiology, pharmacy, outpatient. You could do different emergency room techniques and so much more. And then we have health sciences, which is learning for the different nursing pathways or medical assisting. You'll learn a lot of medical terminology, and that's a program that is not senior only. You can do that through 10th through 12th grade. And then our last program is biomedical technology and laboratory sciences, which this one's a really cool program if you're interested in things like NCIS, CSI, different crime scenes, investigation. This would be the perfect program for you. You're looking into fingerprint analysis, blood, DNA. You actually have a crime scene inside your classroom, so you're looking at a lot of different forensics. Our next school is the School of Engineering and Computer Sciences, with our first program being Engineering and Robotics. In the bottom left-hand corner is actually a robotic arm that our students can learn how to program and operate. We are receiving more equipment soon to make a smart factory in our laboratory, so students can start learning the different programming techniques and more of the new smart factories that are taking place. Computer networking and digital forensics is a program for students who are interested in more of the hardware of the computer. So the different wiring, the components, taking it apart, putting it back together, different IT analysis, your A+ certifications, and so much more. Management Information Systems is an awesome program if you're interested in a lot of different programming software, and especially if you're interested in potentially doing video game design. This is a program that we've revamped so that students who are interested in video game design can help get started on that pathway to be able to do that. You're looking at different programs and different systems to be able to put pieces together, and so much more with the computer systems. And then advertising, design, and commercial art, which holds a special place in my heart because that is my background from Penn State. But you're learning the Adobe Creative Suite. So Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and other different techniques with the Adobe Creative Cloud. You're working on large printers, t-shirts, stickers, and different other advertising techniques, which is awesome. Our next school is the School of Construction Technology. All of these programs include blueprint reading and blueprint writing as well. So carpentry is our first one. You're looking at the different structures of houses, the way that you're framing things, the different angles of wood, cutting it, putting things together, staining it. Right now they're actually working on a 1-story house and a 2-story house inside their laboratory, which is really cool. Electrical construction technology is looking at all of the different wiring components of putting in different fans and different lights and switches, 3-way switches. You're working on different electrical boxes, different components of maybe housing or building structures, and all of the wiring that goes into that. As well as, the next program is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, also known as HVAC, and plumbing. This program, they have a 2-story house inside their laboratory. It is massive. The students actually are able to go inside of this mini house And on the bottom level, they're working on different sinks and refrigeration units, your air conditioning units. And then upstairs, they're working on different bathrooms and everything. So they're getting the real experience of working inside a house as if they're on a job site. Building trades actually combines all three of those programs in a way, but also introduces some masonry and some other techniques as well to be able to do different electrical components, building structures. They've actually built dog houses and things like that and have been able to donate them as well, which is really cool. And our last program on this list is welding, which is actually the highest in-demand occupation for Delaware County at this moment. This program, you'll be learning arc metal welding, arc shielded welding, different methods of it with a CNC machine, and we're actually getting a virtual welding machine for students to use as well, which is really cool. And you'll be doing plasma cutting too. Our next school is the School of Hospitality, Tourism, and Human Services, where our students are learning cosmetology, culinary arts, and early childhood education. Cosmetology is a fun one. It's not just cutting hair and makeup. You're also looking at the chemistry and biology of different components of like your makeups and the different chemistry in like chemicals that you're using for dyeing hair. You're looking at all of your skin, so for dermatology and things like that. It's a really neat program to get into. So you get a little bit of taste of everything from just the basics to maybe doing theatrics of like monster movie makeup or different scenes, or even something completely different. The choice is yours on how you want to go about doing cosmetology and learn the most out of it. Culinary arts is always a fun program. Our students are not only baking foods and creating different concoctions, they're doing a lot of math skills as well as chemistry for those foods to kind of what you're mixing together and things like that, as well as you're learning hospitality management. So maybe in a hotel or a restaurant as well. And our last school is the School of Logistics, Distribution, and Transportation, where we have collision repair technology, automotive technology, and logistics and inventory management. With collision repair and automotive, you're working on cars that are old, new, any style, any make, any model. And our students are able to practice on cars, practice on each other's cars, their family members' cars, and bringing them in to work on to get a different feel. Collision repair, you do get a little bit of welding involved. We have a whole setup dedicated to repainting the cars. Automotive, you're looking at a lot of your steering, suspension, your brakes, the different engineering components as well. And then logistics and inventory management, our very last program, you are able to get forklift certified and basically work in a mini warehouse working on the different logistics of distribution of goods and services. And we're actually a small distribution center for the Delaware County Intermediate Unit as well. So a lot of things that I just went over are 21 different programs, but with those programs, we offer additional programs to relate the school that you're learning from and the different career pathways that you're interested in to make sure that they're overlapping and that this is a right fit for you. So job shadowing and mentoring are both very similar, but also very different. They allow you the opportunity to follow someone around and shadow someone and see what they do every day. Job shadowing can last about a day, maybe 2 days, depending on how many jobs you want to see. And mentoring could potentially last up to 2 weeks, which is really cool. And then we also offer dual enrollment opportunities for students to start getting ahead on their college career and earn different college credits. So we offer with our automotive, Delaware County Community College, we offer credits. Immaculata and Widener are both for all of our students across DCTS. Widener is one of our newest partnerships where you actually have the opportunity to earn 30 college credits by the time you graduate. All of these college classes are heavily discounted. So for Widener example, they are $200 a course. So that's 3 college credits right there. If you go on to a different university and take the same exact course, you might be paying almost $3,000 for a course. So definitely take advantage of the dual enrollment opportunities and you'll get a jump start on the college courses, and maybe you have the ability to pick up a major, a minor, or maybe different certifications and things like that when you have the ability to take 30 college credits while you're still in high school. And then last on this list is cooperative work experience that our students absolutely love, where we can actually send you to a job site. A job has to be available. You'll do an interview for it. You do a resume and everything, and you're actually going to a job site instead of coming to DCTS. You'll check in with your teachers every other week and still come to school, but for the most part, you're going to that job site and actually earning money. Most of our automotive students are getting started at around $14 an hour. So instead of coming to our school, you're going to the job site and making $14 an hour, which is incredible. But we've had opportunities throughout all of our programs for different cooperative work experience and different ways to make money and get that hands-on experience. This is what our application looks like. It is 2 pages long. The first page is very simple with your name, your grade, what programs you're going to pick. You do pick 3 choices. Unfortunately, you cannot do more than 1 program. You can only do 1 program at a time. So we recommend that you stay with the program throughout your time here at DCTS to get the most experience out of it with the most amount of industry certifications that you can get and college credits as well. With your application, you need to talk with your counselor. Our application and all of the information is also listed on our website, so you can get more information about how to apply and our programs as well. But please talk with your counselor about the possible career choices that you're going to get into and that you're going to be applying for DCTS, because your counselor does have to send us your supplemental equipment or supplemental information. My lights went off. You do have to provide us your attendance records, your disciplinary records, and your grades. We do look at all of those, so make sure you have good attendance at school, make sure you have a good disciplinary record, and keep up with your grades. We accept students of all different grades, so even if you're not straight A's, you can still apply to DCTS. We look at everything to make sure that this is the best fit for you. A lot of our students, if you are possibly struggling at your high school, and you come to DCTS, that's even more of a motivation to keep going. You want to keep your grades up so that you can keep coming to DCTS and get the most experience as possible. And on the right-hand side, you do have 2 short open-ended questions for a writing sample. So we do also offer student organizations. We have Skills USA, FCCLA, HOSA, and the National Technical Honor Society. We do not offer any sports or other extracurriculars. You can continue to do those at Radnor High School, and I encourage you to participate in those. They're definitely super exciting, and they make you well-rounded, and you can continue to earn different skill sets on top of these. So you can do our student organizations as well as the student organizations at your high school. So I mentioned that we have other opportunity for college credits. I'm going to get into that right now. Our first opportunity is called Students Occupationally and Academically Ready, also known as SOAR. So you have the opportunity to earn college credit. You have to have a 2.5 GPA, and you can find all of this information at collegetransfer.net. So we have agreements with so many different schools across the state of Pennsylvania. This is only for the state of Pennsylvania. And you have the ability to earn a minimum of 6 college credits. You don't have to do really anything besides go to our programs and do your best, because once you complete our program, you are able to attend one of these schools and automatically earn college credit just for completing our program. So it's kind of like an equivalency. We also offer more equivalencies with articulation agreements. So this is another part of my job, that I get to work with colleges to be able to provide you guys the most college opportunities as possible. So I put an example right here of how these work. The logos that you see right here are not all of the schools that we work with. We actually work with so many more as well. And we're always looking for new partnerships for you guys to be able to find the best college that's right for you. So an example with exercise therapy and sports science, you must complete those 4 things. The task list is something that every program has. It's a list of skills that you need to be able to complete by the time you graduate with us in each program, in the program that you're in, to be able to be competent in everything. NOCD is an exam. It's a 2-part exam. You have a written exam and a physical exam that you demonstrate your skills, but you won't do that until after you complete 2 years in your program. And then specific for this one is CPR and AED and certified personal training. That's just for this example. So if you complete all 4 of those things, you can go to Newman University and already have achieved those 3 classes on your transcript, which is cool. So now you're 3 classes ahead of the other students. Like I mentioned earlier, you could pick up another major, another minor, or any certifications as well, which is really cool. So of course we have our social media, our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and at Delco Tech HS. Our website is a very good resource for all of you to look at the programs. We have videos on there, lots of pictures of our students working every day, and so much more about colleges, our student services, and everything else that you need to figure out what kind of career you're looking into. And of course, here are some additional pictures of some of the things our students are working on. They are always doing something new, which is so exciting. And I love going into the classes every single day to see what they're doing and what I can showcase to the community and to different high schools to be able to continue to influence you guys and see what careers you might want to get started in. So I mentioned earlier, we have 21 programs, but that's not just 21 individual occupations. The world is endless with the types of jobs you can do, and I hope you find the best fit. And I want to thank you again for watching my presentation. But before I pass it back to Mr. McNamara, if you do have any questions, you can feel free to reach me at my email, rcotton@dciu.org, or feel free to call my phone number as well. And I want to thank you so much.
Rachel, thank you so much for that informative presentation. Students, this is an outstanding program, and I urge you all to look into this, take advantage of the opportunities that DCIU offers. It's an incredible experience, and with all the students that I've chatted with, it is just a wonderful opportunity for you to get involved with. At this time, I'd like to have Mrs. Fine come on to say a few words and to close out the first part of our program. Mrs. Fine.
Hi, everyone. My name's Miss Fine. I'm one of the school counselors here, and I'm also the liaison between Radnor High School and the technical school. So I just wanted to introduce myself. If you have any questions about applying, you can certainly come see me. But also make sure if I'm your counselor, great, it's both in one, but also to make sure to loop in your specific counselor if you're interested in the programs. And the reason that I say this is because course selection is coming up, and we'd like to know if it's, something you're thinking about for next year. That way we can help arrange your schedule around the program. So essentially we do the morning programs from Radnor. So what you would do is you would essentially wake up, get on the bus, and get transferred to the technical school. There's 2 campuses. So depending on your program, that depends on what campus you would be bused to. And then we would provide transportation from that campus to Radnor. You'd get here around 10:45 in the morning and then go, have your normal classes after that. So that's sort of the logistics of things. So if you're interested in applying, talk with your counselor, talk with me. You can apply online if you want, or you can print out an application and hand it to us. But we do need to be looped into the idea that you're applying so that we can send over that supplemental material that Ms. Cotton was talking about, your transcript, your attendance records, your disciplinary records, etc. So that's all part of the application process, and it'll be listed at the bottom of the application, but there's no way for you to send that information. So that's why we need to get involved. So you can message me on Schoology, or you can email me. It's nicole.fine@rtsd.org. And then we can get everything started. So I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Mrs. Fine. Students, as a reminder, this is the 9th grade presentation. So please, there is an attention seminar through Mrs. Civitella that she had facilitated at 9 o'clock. The link was posted on Schoology. This is your time to catch up on that presentation. Please make sure that you do catch up on that. Also, starting at 9, or you could go now, make sure that you are communicating with your homeroom teacher that you are here for the day. From 9 to 9:30, we will have the same presentation for our juniors and sophomores. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, students. This morning, we have Rachel Cotton from the Delaware County Technical High School to present an overview of DCTS and their program offerings. DCTS is an outstanding program that so many students take advantage of each year. At this time, I'd like to welcome Rachel Cotton from Delaware County Technical High School. Rachel.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rachel Cotton from the Delaware County Technical High School. I am the Community Resource Developer and Perkins Grant Coordinator. I have a lot of responsibility, but one of my favorite responsibilities is coming to different high schools, middle schools, and even elementary schools to talk to you guys about possible careers. There's so much to discuss about this slideshow, and I hope you guys have the chance to learn anything. But if you do have any questions throughout the entire presentation, you are more than welcome to reach out to your counselors or reach out to myself. My information is on the screen right now at rcotton@dciu.org, or feel free to call my office phone number and we can have a small conversation about maybe a possible career that you're interested in, or if you just have a general question. But definitely start reaching out to your counselors, or feel free to call anyone at DCTS to answer any of your questions. So at DCTS, we offer 21 different programs, but that's not just 21 different individual occupations. The opportunities are endless for the possibilities of what your future career might be, what major you want to have at a college or university, what maybe trade school you want to go to, or just even possibilities of what kind of job you may see yourself in. Now is the time to start looking and thinking about those opportunities. The average college student does change their major 3 to 5 times before they graduate. So where I'm at right now within my jobs and the different ideas of jobs that I've had, I have changed my possible career 7 different times. I started in occupational therapy and speech pathology, American Sign Language. I ended up getting a degree in communication and media studies. My first job out of college was actually wedding and event planning. So that was interesting. And now I'm back in a high school. So I've gone through so many different jobs and different occupations that I'm now in a happy and successful place that I love doing. And I'm so excited that I can share with you guys excuse me, the different opportunities that DCTS has to offer for you, and that what we can provide to continue your education and to be successful in possible careers. DCTS also actively partners with different employers to be able to help provide you guys different high quality programs and the perfect curriculum to be able to be successful in our careers. We are always buying and purchasing new equipment, new textbooks, new almost everything, so that you guys are always up to date and constantly in the know of what our employers are looking for and what they're seeking for this career. We do offer industry certifications with all of our programs. Every single student who comes to DCTS completes their OSHA 10 certification, which is a 10-hour course on basic safety for each field. So that's one that you'll automatically get. And then within that, every program has additional certifications. Maybe it's CPR, AED, a training certification. You might get an A+ certification or JavaScript, or anything else. You will see so many different occupations and different industry certifications that you have the ability to achieve while you're still in high school. So we have 2 campuses and 21 different programs, but we actually take those programs and our campuses and break them down into 5 different schools. Each are known as career clusters that group the programs together based on similar interests. So we're going to go through each one. But before I go to each program, I do want to make sure that you guys are aware that we have not only your classroom component with like your lab, or I'm sorry, not your labs, your lectures and your PowerPoints and just general teaching, but you also have a lab component that matches what the industry looks like, which is really cool. So we're going to go through all the different types of equipment that we have and the things that you're going to learn throughout each program. And our first school is the School of Health and Biosciences, with our first program being exercise therapy and sports science. If you're looking to do maybe sports medicine, kinesiology, something in athletics, or maybe occupational therapy or physical therapy. Dental technology is good if you want to get your radiology certification or maybe do chairside dental assisting and so much more. Emergency and Protective Services is a really cool program for students interested in firefighting, police work, EMT specialists, and so much more. We actually have a full-size fire truck, a full-size ambulance, a shooting simulator, and so much more that students are able to practice different techniques and everything to be able to go into that workforce. Our next program is Medical Careers. This is a senior-only program. So if you're during your junior year, you can apply to this program to be able to do it your senior year. We actually don't offer this at both of our campuses. Instead, you're going to one of 7 hospitals. Currently, because of COVID, our students are being housed out of the Aston and Fallcroft campuses, but we are hoping in the fall to be able to return back to the hospitals for you guys to be able to get those different clinical rotations. You have the opportunity to be in different pharmacy, emergency room, outpatient, different nursing, follow around doctors, and so much more. So that is a senior only program. Health Sciences is very similar. It's actually housed out of Fallcroft. You can do this the 10th through 12th grade. You'll learn the different medical terminology for medical assisting and different techniques of nursing that you want to do. Maybe if you want to be in a nursing home or pediatrics, this is a great step for you to get into that field and kind of get a knowledge of what field you might want to get into with nursing. Our last program on this list is Biomedical Technology and Laboratory Sciences, where our students, if you're interested in NCIS, CSI, different crime scenes, investigation, you have a crime scene inside your laboratory, which is so cool. You're looking at DNA, blood analysis, you're dissecting things, you're looking at so many different opportunities, which is really cool. Our next school is the School of Engineering and Computer Sciences, with our first program being Engineering and Robotics. In the bottom left-hand corner, you can actually see a robotic arm that our students know how to program and utilize. We're actually getting additional equipment to create a smart factory inside of our laboratory. So students are able to practice on that and do the things that the field is now requiring for different engineering. We do also have a robot that the students are building, putting together, and so much more. Computer networking and digital forensics is a cool program if you're interested in looking at the hardware of a computer, so the different wiring techniques. The program is to do the different diagnosis on where's the issue of the computer, taking it apart, putting it back together again for different IT analysis and more. Management Information Systems is our next program. This is a program that we've kind of redesigned for students who are interested in video game design. You're looking at different programs and softwares to be able to do the different components on a computer that'll help you get into more software management and different video game skills as well, which is so neat. And our last program on this list is Advertising Design and Commercial Art, where you're looking at the entire Adobe suite. So Creative Cloud with Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. You're working on large printers. You're making stickers, t-shirts, posters, and so much more, and getting a feel for the advertising industry. Our next school is the School of Construction Technology, where all of our programs on this list are utilizing blueprint reading and blueprint writing. With carpentry, you're looking at the different structures and framing of houses and different buildings and so much more, and the angles that you're cutting wood and putting it together to make sure that you're getting proper measurements. Our students are actually building a 1-story and a 2-story house inside of their laboratory. So students are able to kind of get the feel of that and how it would be like if they go to a job site and be able to put it together with the framing and all of those techniques. Electrical construction technology is really neat for the students who are looking at the different wiring components of ceiling fans and light switches, the 3-way switches, different electrical boxes and units, working on not only industrial, but they're looking into housing and residential working as well, which is awesome. Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, also known as HVAC and plumbing, is a neat program. We do have a full 2-story house inside of the laboratory, which is so cool. On the first floor of that house, the students are able to practice on different sinks and structures with air conditioning and refrigeration. And then if you go upstairs, the students are able to work on heating as well as their bathrooms, and so much more. So you're actually working as if you're on a real house and a job site. Building trades actually combines kind of all three of those programs, but also introduces masonry as well. The students are building dog houses, they're building all sorts of different things, and so much more. So it's a lot of basic skills, which is really cool. And then our last program on this list is welding, which is actually the highest in demand occupation for Delaware County at this moment. You're learning arc metal welding, arc shielded welding, destructive and non-destructive methods of welding. You'll look at plasma cutting, and so much more in that program, which is neat. And then this school is the School of Hospitality, Tourism, and Human Services with cosmetology, culinary arts, and early childhood education. With cosmetology, you're not only just doing hair and makeup, but you're looking at the skin and the biology, and you're also looking at chemistry with the chemicals that are going into the different products that you're using, or how to properly dye someone's hair, and different structures like that. Culinary arts, our students are making foods. Of course, they're eating it too. There's so many things that they're making and doing, but they're also learning a lot of math and chemistry in that class as well. And they're also looking at hospitality management as well as that program. So maybe for hotels or restaurants. And then our last program on this list is early childhood education, where students are looking into different children, where they're able to actually put together lesson plans and be able to work with the kids. At some point, you'll be able to get your CDA license by the time you graduate, and do different projects relating around children and their learning abilities from different age groups, and so much more. Our last school is the School of Logistics, Distribution, and Transportation, with our first program being Collision Repair Technology, where you're looking at the different repairs of cars. We have a full station dedicated to painting cars. You will actually do a little bit of welding in this program. And then automotive, you're looking at steering, suspension, brakes, engineering components, a lot of math that's involved, and so much more. With collision and automotive, our students are looking at cars that are old, new, different makes, models, you name it. So they're able to practice on so many different cars to be able to learn the different functions and the different techniques of putting things together, taking them apart, and different ways, because each car is different. So they get a wide variety of skills to use. And then our very last program is logistics and inventory management, where our students can get forklift certified. They're working in basically a mini warehouse as a distribution center to do different inventory management and the distribution of different products throughout the Delaware County Intermediate Unit, which is really neat. So a couple of things that DCTS has to offer along with all of these programs is job shadowing, mentoring, dual enrollment, and cooperative work experience. We do have a couple of other things we have to offer, but I'll get into those in a little bit. The first one is job shadowing, and second is mentoring. These are two very similar, but also very different. Job shadowing can last about a day, where mentoring can last up to 2 weeks, where you can actually go to a job site and follow someone around and see what they do, ask a lot of questions, and kind of see if this is a good fit for you. We offer dual enrollment with Delaware County Community College, Immaculata, and Widener. You have the possibility of earning up to 30 college credits by the time you graduate with us. That's almost an entire year off of school, which is incredible, off of your general education courses, or even your electives, or your major courses, which is awesome. And these are also heavily discounted as well. I know for Widener specifically that their courses are $200 for a class. That is so discounted compared to if you actually go to Widener as an undergraduate student. You could be paying almost a couple of $1,000s for the class, like maybe up to $3,000, depending on the amount of credits that are offered and credit hours. So it's heavily discounted, and you now, if you take dual enrollment, you have the ability to now get ahead of your other classmates. So maybe you could pick up another major, you could do a minor, or maybe you can get certifications, which are incredible as well. Any way to get you further in your career and further to your future career of what you might want to do for different occupations, which is awesome. And lastly is cooperative work experience, which our students always love and love to be a part of this during their senior year. you have the opportunity to actually leave DCTS and go to a job site and make money. So instead of coming to school, you're going to a job site, getting the real experience and earning actual money at the same time, which is so neat to say. These students, you have to apply for the job, you have to do a resume and everything, and you work with our cooperative education coordinator to find the best experience for you on what kind of jobs that you're interested in. I know, for example, our automotive students are making almost $14 an hour, which is incredible. So instead of coming to high school, they're making $14 an hour. I know that I worked as a lifeguard back in high school in the summer, and I was there in a total of six or 7 years, and at most I finished out making $10.25. So if I had the ability to make $14 an hour, that would be incredible, and getting the skills that I need for my future job. So this is what our application looks like. It is 2 pages long. On the left-hand side is your basic name, your grade, what programs you want to do. You have 3 choices that you want to pick, but you can only do 1 program. So definitely think about the programs that you're interested in and talk with your counselor. Now is the biggest time to start talking with your counselor about possible careers and your choices with DCTS. Your counselors do have to send us supplemental paperwork, which include your academics, your disciplinary record, and your attendance. We want to make sure that you have good attendance and a good disciplinary record to make sure that you're a good fit here, as well as any other courses that you've passed and everything. Then we have your student writing sample on the right-hand side, which are just 2 general questions. The why are you applying to DCTS, and tell us about your educational interests and goals. I look at these 2 questions as the $1,000,000 question. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? It's a good time to start thinking about why are you applying? I mean, are you looking to learn more about a certain career? Do you have an interest in maybe science or math or different technologies? And do you have a dream job or a goal in mind of where you want to be at some point? So it's a good time to start thinking about these questions and opportunities. We do offer student organizations. We have Skills USA, FCCLA, HOSA, and the National Technical Honor Society. We do not currently offer any sports or other extracurriculars. You can still continue to do that at your high school, and I encourage you to do that. Please continue in things like marching band, swimming and diving, football, any sport that's out there, lacrosse, art clubs, French clubs, things like that, so that you have the ability to earn more skill sets, continue to be well-rounded, meet new people, and so much more. You can participate in our organizations as well as the organizations at your school. Take advantage of everything that you can. It looks great on a resume, and you'll be learning so much along the way. So I mentioned that we have the dual enrollment, but we also have other types of college agreements. Our first one is called SOAR, which stands for Students Occupationally and Academically Ready, where you can actually earn college credit just by completing our program. So all you have to do is complete our program and get a 2.5 GPA and complete the NOCD, which is the end of the year exam after your 2nd year with us. So after your 2nd year, you take this exam. It's a written exam and a practical exam where students actually demonstrate their skills in front of an industry professional. You can find out more information about this on collegetransfer.net, but you have the opportunity to earn a minimum of 6 college credits, depending on the school and what they offer for an equivalency. For this program, it is only throughout Pennsylvania. So we work with schools like Penn Tech College or Harrisburg Community College, different technical schools like Thaddeus Stevens, and others. So definitely look into this program. That's one way to earn college credit. Another way is with things like articulation agreements. So this is another part of my job that I get to actually help you guys find more colleges and different universities that will be able to provide college credit to you. You can earn actually up to 26 college credits, which is incredible with some of these programs. So I put an example on how this works. For exercise therapy and sports science, you have to, for this one, you have to complete the task list. Every program has one of these. It's a list of skills that you have to complete by the time you graduate with us. And then we have the NOCD, which I mentioned previously. And then for this one specifically, they need to get their CPR and AED and certified personal training. If a student in exercise therapy and sports science completes all those things, those 4 things, They have the ability to go to Newman University and already achieve those 3 classes on their transcript. So they won't have to take them as the introductory courses. They can now advance on their schoolwork. And like I said earlier, the more classes you take, the more opportunities you have for potentially getting another major, a minor, or any other certifications, which is incredible. Or even graduate early if you want to. And of course, we have our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Delco Tech HS. You can follow us for more information. Our website is a really great resource to look at different pictures and videos of our programs, of things you might want to do and get more information about how they work, the students, the projects that are going on, and so much more. I mentioned that we have 21 different programs at our 2 different schools, Aston and Fallcroft, but that's not just 21 individual programs. The possibilities are endless for the types of jobs you want to do. Like I said, I changed my job 7 different times. You have the chance to now start figuring out and get a taste for what the job might be like after high school or after college, and see if that's a good fit for you. If you don't like it, we could always end up changing it into something else, which is really cool. So start thinking about it, talk with your counselor and everything. And I want to thank you guys again so much for letting me present to you today. And feel free to reach out with any questions and talk with your counselor. And I'm actually going to pass the mic back to Mr. McNamara. Thank you.
Rachel, thank you so much for that informative presentation. Students, I urge you to look into these things. The DCIU presents a plethora of offerings that students take advantage of. And if you have any questions, reach out to Rachel. Also reach out to Mrs. Fine, who I'm going to turn over to right now to add some additional information.
Hey everyone, it's Miss Fine. If you don't know me, I'm one of the school counselors, and I am also the liaison between Radnor and the technical school. So if you ever have any questions, you can certainly come see me. As course selection is approaching, this is a great time to start thinking about if you might want to apply to be in one of the programs for next school year. Essentially, what you would do is you would be a part of the morning program at either the Fallcroft or the Aston campus. So, assuming you were accepted, you would get, information which campus you would be attending. A Radnor bus would pick you up at your house in the morning, and it's a little bit earlier than our start time. Take you to the campus, you would have your program, and then you would get back to Radnor. You would also get bused back here by like 10:30, 10:45, and then be able to take classes, in the late morning, afternoon here at Radnor. So you're actually able to fit in, 5 periods here if you need to. But it's a good time to start thinking about it and start having conversations with your counselor to see what your schedule might look like next year. Now, you can fill out an application online if you want, or you can print a hard copy and bring it to me. Essentially, there's some other documents that need to get sent with your application. So if you are filling it out online, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure you let either me or your counselor know that, so that we can then follow up with those other documents that they need, like your transcript, attendance information, disciplinary record, all of that stuff. And if you have any questions or you just want to find out a little bit more, you can always contact me on Schoology, or you can email me. It's nicole.fine@rtsd.org, and I would be happy to talk through anything with you. So thank you so much, Rachel. Appreciate the presentation. And, let me know if you have any questions.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Fine. And once again, thank you, Rachel, for everything today. And again, students, I do hope that you took something from this presentation. We have a few minutes left before the bell will ring, and we thank you again. Have a good day.